Hi everyone, welcome. If you're new here, I'm so happy to have you. And if you're my previous and subscribers, welcome. I'm really surprised we have a good showing today. Good showing. We have a lot to cover today. If you're just somebody who just wants to go straight to the prepping and just wants to know how you guys can prepare for any sort of earthquake or tsunami, just check in the description. I will have a timestamp below for you. Now, everyone else, we will be doing today tarot cards and some other stuff as well. I'll be telling you guys what I'm seeing because I've been getting reports from other people that they think that this is just a normal tsunami or earthquake. A lot of people have been thinking that it's just a normal earthquake. It's not, okay? And this is why. So this is very detailed. I've been getting a lot of this information recently, and I will thank my Lisa, my client, who wanted me to do a little bit more in-depth reading with her being affected by the tsunami, and I said no, she would not be safe. And I was like wondering why her guys put her there in a house right by the beach, like literally on the coast. And her guys said so that she learned how to run. That's what her guys said, and she told me that she started running when she was in the house. You take that out what you will, but there's that. Okay, so here are the information. I tried to jot down everything that I remembered about the earthquake. So here it is. So this is the thing that I was talking about, right? You will have 3 to 5 minutes long earthquake. So if you guys have, the best way to know if this is the thing that I'm talking about and occurring is to look at your, oh, actually, right. I should have did a little disclaimer. Thank you, Laurie. Okay, so if you want to book a reading with me, there's everything's in the description. Here's the disclaimer. Here's another disclaimer. This is just for entertainment purposes only and for education purposes only as well. And bam, another disclaimer. All right, and then at the end of the video, we'll do an angelic reading and 2 Easter egg messages. And we're also going to be talking about the North Korean missile strike that can cause this, the St. Vincent volcanic eruption, and something else as well. All right, there are a lot that's coming. So for today, what I have seen here is that we have a 3. If you have a watch, what is going to happen is it's going to, if an earthquake is between 3 to 5 minutes long earthquake, you're going to know this is the one, okay? This is the one I'm talking about. If it's longer than 3 to 5 minutes. Love you too, Agape. We have here, it was supposed to be between 9 to 10 on the Richter, 9 to 11 on the Richter scale in terms of how big the earthquake is. But because of nature, it recently went up to 12. So now it's a 12. So this is what I'm talking about. The earthquake is going to be on a number 12 on the Richter scale. The tsunami is going to be between 1,000 to 100,000 feet, okay, in the air. We have when the tsunami strikes, you will have 2 minutes evacuation time. All infrastructure. So if your evacuation plan involved any sort of infrastructure like buildings, bridges, stuff like that, it will be unreliable. California will become a bay, which I will show why in a second, why California will be partly underwater. We will also have, I also see starvation, polluted water supply, nuclear matter, volcanic activity as well during this. I also see that there will be an eruption from the San Andreas fault line. This is where it will come from. 200 million people around the globe will be affected by this particularly. Anyone from the west side of the Mississippi River will be unsafe or will be affected in some degree or form. I also see that here that when this earthquake strikes, funny enough, the way I was able to find this with one of my clients, and I was reading for her, and I said, "Oh no, it looks like the earthquake's gonna strike when it's like morning time for her." She said, "Oh, morning time." She got up around like 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. Right, and so that's what I'm seeing. And right here, I wrote down 3 a.m. to 7 a.m. Pacific time. Okay, so add 3 hours if you're from Eastern Standard Time. And then I also see that it's going to take place before an election in California. So I'm seeing the recall election going to take place before the governor election for what's his name, Governor Newsom. Right, it's going to take place before that. I also see here that it's going to be happening between the month of April this year, April, May, June, July, early July, or it's going to happen between October and November. And then if it doesn't happen, it's going to happen within the next 5 years. That is almost certain. And what follows after that is an economic collapse. Right? That's why I've been pushing this idea that you guys need to be prepared. And I will tell you how to be prepared in this video today. So you do not need to be worried and be scared. Thank you, Lisa, for giving me the idea. She gave me the idea to, because she said that a lot of my content is a little scary at times. And so she told me she would like preparations in the video. I just saw 555. So that's what I'm going to do. And if you guys do like me to learn how to be able to prep you guys for any sort of natural disaster, any sort of disaster, anything, I'm more than happy if that will calm down your nerves. So that's something that we're going to do. All right, so let's talk about the California Bay going underwater. So the part of where I'm speaking here, where California is going to go underwater, as you see on your screen right now, you see the state of California, right? Look at this image right where my mouse is. You see this small flat bay area? I see California being permanently underwater. This part at least will be underwater. So anybody who lives in this flat area in California will be also be very heavily affected, and this will not become a lake. Okay? So that is what I'm seeing as well. And also the fault line happened to run across here, with I see the fault line being somewhere around here, okay? So if you want to have an idea, anyone that's on this coast here, you're going to be heavily affected. You might want to go towards these mountains or even Nevada SD. But again, I also see a lot of things like the Yellowstone eruption. There's a lot of things that I will be talking today just to give you guys an idea of what I'm referring to and talking about. So no, I'm not talking about a normal 4 on the Richter scale earthquake. I'm talking about a mega tsunami, okay? A mega earthquake. All right? So there's that. All right, so today we're going to do a little bit of a reading. And, the thing is that when I learned from my guys is that they told me to put this information out, because what happened is it mitigates the chances of it happening, or lessens the chance of it being as destructive had we not did anything. So if you're wondering why I'm doing this, it's because of that, okay? So, somebody said recently the North Korea missile strike. One thing I found out is that, also I forgot to add, excuse me, let me remove this for a second. One thing I forgot to add also is I also see Vancouver Island going underwater. Seattle and Portland will also sink. Hawaii will be heavily affected. Also have a mudslide or a landslide as well. Japan, Australia, China, and New Zealand will all be affected by this. Okay, so if you live in any of those areas, just keep that in mind. All right, but also I told her, I believe, Alaska as well and British Columbia. So British Columbia will have 2 hours. No, actually 2 hours. Alaska will have 3 hours. Japan will have not 12. No, excuse me. Japan has 9. Australia will have 13, and New Zealand will have 13, so it's 12. So 12 hours. So if you want to talk about 12 hours, I'm talking about the tsunami going through the Ring of Fire, okay? That's what I'm talking about. The Ring of Fire is the Pacific Ocean, in case you didn't know that. So, yes, I will be talking about other areas. I did say geography in terms of, somebody told me yesterday, one of my other clients, Adelaide, she asked me about, Texas, and I said there's going to be an oil spill. But we'll take a look at that in another video. I'm not too concerned about that just yet because it doesn't feel like it's coming yet. But this one is. So I'm doing this one. So someone told me that North Korea is planning on accidentally striking the United States. Right. And so I will be reading on that today to kind of see if that's the nuclear matter that I'm looking at. Again, if an earthquake or a tsunami happens in California, the likelihood which I am seeing, it will even damage the nuclear power plant as well. Okay. Princess, we're trying to go into the 5D, not the 4D. 4D is like a little bit up, but we're still going to be vulnerable. We have to go to 5D to avoid this. All right, so Spirits and Angels, tell me North Korea missile strike. What do we need to know about the North Korean missile strike? Okay, interesting. Okay, so Spirits and Angels, tell me what is it that we need to know if this missile strike. Will this missile strike cause an earthquake? Thank you. Yes. Yeah. Okay. So what I'm seeing here is okay. So one funny thing is that when this thing happens, it does feel like there is going to be a woman in power in office, right? But we do have here two women. It's the energy of the women, right? We have here people trying to escape. So I was telling my other client the other day, I noticed there's correlation. The reason why California has high tax rates and all those states on the West Coast is because it's by divine timing to get those people out of those states. That's why they're leaving, to make people leave the state before it happens, right? To protect people from these type of injuries, right? So that's why there's high tax rates. If you're wondering why California, all of them had high tax rates, this is why, right? It's divine timing. They're supposed to have it so people will leave, right? We have here as well is that there's going to be a lot of things coming at once. And, you can see here that, yes, when Korea does this next military like parade, this might be a sign that it's coming soon, right? This is just a hypothetical had North Korea was to cause an earthquake or a tsunami like thing that I'm seeing, right? We do have here as well as we have the Queen of Cups, even though the area of California and every other country that's going to be affected a region, it's going to be underwater. There are going to be some parts that are going to be just above water. Some people are just going to be stayed. It's going to be like a miracle story. We do have here Mother Nature. So Mother Nature is going to be in control. This is Mother Nature here, right? And it could be like a woman type president. And a lot of people are going to be very upset. People are going to be very upset that this happened or occurred, and that a lot of people have suffered because of it. And there will be some sort of celebration as well. So I do see that maybe this is North Korea celebrating, stuff like that as well. Thank you, Louisa. That's so sweet. We do have here again, we do have the Hierophant, right? And so this is this is the government, and it's saying that government is going to offer assistance, but the people may refuse assistance. And that may be what may bring the downfall of this. I really don't sense, if you really want me, my honest opinion, I really don't sense the North Korean missile strike. I don't feel like that will be the main cause. If anything, I feel like it's going to be natural, if you know what I mean. All right, so let's ask about the next question as well. So yesterday, the same Vincent volcanic eruption erupted, like the volcano erupted, right? And I saw it as an omen. Like I was looking at it, oh, that seems odd. It was a volcano that hasn't erupted in such a long period of time, and that it just erupted out of nowhere. And I automatically, my mind and my intuition just went straight to California and everything there, because I kept feeling like, oh, this is a sign, something coming, like something shaking, right? So let's use this. Okay, so Spirits and Angels tell me, what do we need to know about the St. Vincent volcanic eruption that occurred yesterday? Is this omens or sign that this is what's coming in the future? Then I'm gonna jump right into, of course, your main portion of the reading today, which is all about everything that you guys want, right? The how to prepare. Which I have essentially done a lot of research, so should be a lot of informative information. I haven't been able to get in touch with Marie. I waited 4 weeks. She hasn't told me anything. She hasn't answered my email, so I just decided to do this video on my own. So, if you guys do like this preparation video, I'm more than happy to continue the preparation idea. Again, I always want your best interests in mind, right? All right. So, anything else, Spirits and Angels, that we need to know? Okay, I told some people. Oh, look what's here, right? San Andreas fault line, earthquake, California, tectonic plates, move pressure. So there's that. All right, so we have here Triple Sick. We have drink, bartender, sir, cocktail mix, right? I'm going to read them, and then I'm going to try to, figure out what exactly is going on. We have licorice, red, black, Twizzler, good and plenty candy. We have your Lake Wobbleton, Perry Home, Companion, Minnesota, Garrison Keller, Pinch, Finger, Salt, Squeeze, Hitter, Penny. Hercules, Meth, Strongest, 12 labor tasks. Simon Says, follow leader, command, do this, acts. Hitch, trailer, pole, hike, task, ride. Sam I Am, Dr. Seuss, Green Egg, ham, cows, or rhyme. And so, it's just funny how we're talking about the earthquake, right? Whether or not it's related, and the fact that that card landed up there is almost like a sign, right? So we have here's where we have the filter sec, right? So basically what you guys are telling you to hold on to any floating object that's in the water, right? So that is what I'm getting for the filter sec here. So you can't see this. We have here licorice, the red and black. So you're going to see some people who are going to be black and blue. Potentially, I do see a lot of blood. So there's going to be something like that. I do see the Twizzlers as like electrical cords. We have here Lake Wobbleton, Perry Home, Companion, Minnesota, and I keep seeing this at the Garrison Killer. There's going to be some oh my god, okay, how do we say this? Military grade weapon from like World War II that's going to be washed up to the shore. There's going to be some bombs or something that's going on here. I also see here this is also confirmation that like home down the prairie, or it's like I think it's flat land. It's going to be underwater because it is lake. We do have here pinch salt. This is talking about salt water, right? We're talking about lake salt, so salt water. We have here Hercules. I said the Richter scale was going to be number 12. The strongest is going to be number 12, right? The strongest, I believe, the earthquake ever hit the United States. I mean, in terms of the world, I think was 9.3 on the Richter scale. So I'm thinking the 12 was going to be it's going to be the biggest and the strongest, is what I'm seeing. We do have here leader Simon says. We are going to have something in command. So there is going to be a commander and like chief, almost like national emergency declared to some degree. We do have here a hitch. They're telling you to hike to a high ground, right? High ground. Sam, I am Dr. Seuss, green eggs, ham, cows, or rhyme. It's going to be affecting a lot. I don't know where, I believe Dr. Seuss is from Illinois, if I am 100% correct. And we have here deposit, money, bank, make, withdraw, save. So the funny thing is, I just said the natural disaster was going to be the economic collapse, and here we have it. But again, I am going to do a video because I kept feeling that we're going to have an economic collapse after the natural disaster, and after the natural disaster, we have the Roaring Twenties, right? So we have a jockey here, rider, thoroughbred, silk, disc, underwear. So what this is telling me here that you kind of just need to ride it out. Just don't worry about it. Don't send it too much energy. We have here Mummy, Egypt, King Tut, and Bomb, Rap, dead. So there are going to be a lot of people who are going to be dead. I think the same Vincent volcano is a direct relation to what we're talking about currently. We have here Angel, Heaven, Devil, Halo, Wing, Gabriel. I do work with Gabriel. And so yes, this is a sign that this is something the angels and your guys want you to know. So that is something that it's a sign from the angel about that volcanic eruption, which is why I started. So I'm going to give you guys a moment to gather some water, and then I'm going to spit a buttload of information in terms of education, the thing that you guys need to know on how to prepare, okay? I'll give you a moment. I'll turn on the fan. All right, I'm back. So I spent a lot of time writing them down. So if you feel like I'm going way too fast for you, let me know. Okay, this is for your best interest of mine. Okay. All right. So the reason tsunamis are dangerous is due to a sudden and fast gathering of seawater at once, almost with no warning. So there's barely no warning. That's what a tsunami is. That's the definition. Tsunamis, on average, it ranges from 3.3 feet in height. Sometimes big ones are within 50 feet to 100,000 feet, which is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing 100,000 feet. And I'll tell you right after this whole entire preparation video, I'll tell you what I saw for my client, which is quite interesting to say the least. I saw a few outcomes for her. We have here the first wave is always the weakest. Tsunamis can last up to 5 to 24 hours. Between tsunamis waves, it ranges from 5 minutes to 1 hour before the next one arrives. Keep moving till the federal government gives you the go-ahead that it's over, like the actual national disaster is complete. Assume that it's still happening until you're told otherwise. Tsunamis grow larger when it hits the coast, expanding its velocity and size. Here are things that can cause tsunamis. Earthquakes, volcanic eruption, landslides, explosions, collapse of rocks or glaciers, asteroid or meteor. So again, I'll be talking about it in the future. I did say there was going to be a tsunami that's going to hit the East Coast. And so we'll be looking at, the East Coast area, like, northern Canada, stuff like that. We'll also be referring to Europe and Africa and South America. We'll be looking at the Atlantic Ocean specifically. Then we'll be looking at the Caribbean and the Gulf of Mexico, what we'll be talking about as well with the I do see Puerto Rico and a few other islands going underwater permanently. We have here as well asteroid or meteor, which also can cause tsunamis. More than 80% of earthquakes causes tsunamis. The strength of a tsunami is underwater, just like an iceberg. Just cause it's small doesn't translate to weakness. It's power and it's hitting from within deep, right? If you see the water recede from the ocean, do not expect, but instead turn around and run. You will only have a short window. Do not hesitate. Not all tsunamis recede back, so it's not fully reliable. So don't doubt yourself if you feel out that day or get a strange feeling or vibe. You can experience once or both during a tsunami, which is a large swath of the ocean floor or a big ocean wall coming towards you. So basically saying that if you are sometimes like near like an area, this could be applied for anything. It doesn't necessarily mean for California, right? And so what I am seeing here is that okay, hold on. So when you're at these, if you're anywhere near like the ocean or something, if you see like a large swath, like a large group of like sand, like a very large beach, then you know a tsunami's coming. Or as you see from far away, a wall of water building up, coming gradually towards you, that's a tsunami. Okay? Use tsunami warning centers to get the best and most updated details. Tsunamis are not noticeable until it meets the shores, so do not doubt yourself. Basically meaning that sometimes tsunamis don't present themselves until they're at the shore, because think about it, if you're on the deep end, right? If you're in the pool, right? There's the deep end. The water goes down, right? If you're over here and you're in the deep end swimming, but you come to the shore, you get bigger as you gradually go over to the shallow water, right? Same thing. Do not wait for the alarm to sound. Trust your intuition and run. If you're in the water, try to find something that floats. Sooner the better. Such items include a detached roof, raft, tree trunk, or door. Look for animals nearby. Are they there? Are any of them grouping or acting strange? Do they have high anxiety, like a cat shivering or scared or something? Are there a strange group of animals grouping together, like a spider and a cat or something like that? This will give you a clue and signs early on that something's coming, right? You'll see the birds, you'll just barely see birds. They send vibrations, right? Leave behind your possessions, okay? Do not worry about your possessions. So if you're on the beach or somewhere, just take what you need and go. Always have a survival kit planned ahead of time. You need to survive the earthquake, tsunami, and the aftershock that followed. Do not trust the word of mouth, or else you may be in danger than before. For example, during the time of hurricane that struck New York recently, my family and all of us, we just went out during the hurricane was still happening. So don't walk during a hurricane, okay? Do not do that, or don't do it during any other natural disasters. If you are feeling weird about any location that is prone to more cases like earthquake and tsunamis, it's best to change the date. The most dangerous area for this is the Ring of Fire, which is the Pacific Ocean. I'm talking about traveling. If you want to travel somewhere and you feel a little weird about the date, then maybe it's not best to book something along those lines. Always have a backup plan. Plan for congestion of cars. So always have an evacuation plan in all cases. Remember, infrastructure will no longer be reliable in most cases. In the one I specifically see and what I am foreseeing is what I'm seeing, that infrastructure is not reliable. So do not rely on infrastructure. I know a lot of you guys have seen a lot of your comments and you've been saying that you have an evacuation plan, but it's like by car or something like that. Make another evacuation plan just in case. It does not hurt. All right, so you have a maximum of 20 minutes to retreat after the alarm. However, in my case, I see you guys have 2 minutes. Okay, that is what I'm seeing. You have 2 minutes to evacuate. This is why it's very dangerous. Okay? If you cannot escape, climb on a roof of a house with a strong foundation or hold tightly to a rooted tree. Remember, most houses in California aren't grounded into the ground, meaning that you will be swept away. And basically, what I'm saying here is that like large buildings, like structures, like city structures, will be easily manipulated because they were not designed to handle an earthquake bigger than 8 points. But I'm talking about a number 12. That's 4 points bigger if I do the math right. Okay, I'm not a mathematician, but yeah, it could be 5. I have no idea. Okay, remember the water could be electrically charged. Do not touch anything electrical if you are in water or if it's wet. If the device is wet, okay? Do not touch it if it's electrical in any degree or form. Do not hide in houses and buildings after a natural disaster has struck, as they are prone to be unstable, meaning that they are more likely to collapse than they were previously. If you are out at sea, so let's say you're surfing or you were on a boat or something like that, and it occurs, move to deep water. The safest is 150 feet or more as fast as you can. So try to get there as fast as possible, right? These waves are smaller as they are further at sea until they reach shore. Julie, I do not recommend you do not climb on a telephone pole. If you have to, do not do that. That will electrocute somebody. Do not do that. Oh no, Arlene, this is not just for California. This is just worldwide. So you can use do tests for worldwide. I will be located in different areas with geographical regions as well to give people warning. But I do feel like this one is coming the closest. Like this is the soonest one coming first, right? So there's that. But I did say many countries will be affected. About 200 million people overall will be affected by this. And just so you know, the reason why you guys won't know about this earthquake happened until after it happened is because it's not going to be detected on the Richter scale because it's so big. Right? So if you are in water and get rid of your heavy shoes and clothes, be careful because it will be difficult to escape with debris swirling around in the water. So if you have heavy clothes, it's going to weigh you down. Okay, you don't need that. If you're stuck in traffic, a car is in the best choice in most cases, especially in California. You have 45 million people there in one little state. You're not going to get around, okay? So definitely have a backup plan in case. Don't think about going on a bus because a bus ain't going to help you, honey. They're not going to pick you up. And remember that, okay? Hi, Alma. What's up, love? Okay, so expect roads and infrastructure to be unavailable and unrecognizable after the disaster is over or during the disaster as well. Do not go back to inspect the tsunami when it recedes back. Those who survived the first wave will ended up dead in the second wave within 30 minutes ratio. That could also be an hour too. It could be within 1 hour as well. Keep fleeing, keep leaving the state, keep leaving the area where you're from or where this occurred. And this is for anybody. This is something you need to know just in case. Because I'm saying the tsunami is not just going to be in California or countries within the Ring of Fire. We're talking about worldwide here, okay? So this is a good tip for anything. If you're traveling somewhere you don't know, this is a good tip, okay? Yeah. So 30-minute ratio. Keep fleeing or keep leaving the state until your government or your local federal government says that it's clear to come back to the area or the region. The first wave is always the weakest compared to the ones that follow. There's always more than one wave, okay? Remember that. The first wave is like a broom, okay? This is how I describe it. The first wave is like a broom. It takes rid of anything that's in its path. That's the first wave. The second wave takes all that debris that the first wave had destroyed, brings it back, right? Then smashes it, right? Think about it. If you were to go to like a fun kid place, like a water park or something, they have those tsunami waves, those things. You ever see those people who are like in the wave, but then the people who are behind the waves, they get used to smash the people who are in front. That's what's gonna happen. Okay? They'll use it as weapons, okay? 85% of all large tsunamis occur in the Pacific Ocean, okay? Stay away from the crowded areas such as cities to avoid chances of falling debris or falling buildings or structures. If a meteor struck the ocean, it will cause enough power to cause massive damage, the like to which 1 million earthquakes that occurred in the Indian Ocean alone. So, that's what it's also referring to. I'll also be talking about the poles shifting, which will be even more detrimental, and that was what's going to cause a lot of these natural disasters in the first place. The poles are shifting. I already feel it. Okay, I'll talk more about that in more in depth in the potential future, or if you guys all really want me to do it, just let me know in the comments, and I'm more than happy to discuss it with you. Okay, if you are surfing in the ocean, paddle towards the shore, then run to the highest height. You may be able to run to the ocean floor. Beneath you may be done, like there might be no water, so you might be able to just run. Okay, so you don't have to really worry about paddling as you need to. Okay, and if you cannot make it to the shore and you don't feel like the distance is way too far for you, instead I have another path. Paddle towards the horizon, so where it's flat, right, where the ocean is flat. Paddle towards that. Okay, as the wave will be less smaller and less powerful since it's near the deep sea, and you'll have a floating device with you, which is a surfboard. Do not return back to the beach. Wait until local authorities tell you otherwise. So stay put, okay? You may be stranded at sea for about 5 days as well. So keep that in mind. You may not be able to receive first aid within the first 24 hours of the tsunami attack or, wave. Or well, this also applies to earthquakes as well, okay? 150,000 feet wave or more is enough to sweep almost an entire continent, known as a megaquake. Remember, I'm talking about here, I said I see from 1,000 to 100,000 feet tsunami, but I do see more than likely it's going to be within the 100,000 feet ratio. That is what I'm really feeling. I'll tell you why in a momentarily, okay? NASA has reported recently that each year the oceans are growing at a faster rate with 3 feet or more water being added each year, meaning coastal areas will be likely underwater permanently when a tsunami strikes, which is why I talked about the California thing, because, that is something that I have always known that was going to be underwater because I have intuitively felt it, but when I saw this today, that is something that was striking to me. I'm like, oh, that would make sense why California would be probably underwater. Again, partly, what's it call it? Yeah, so California would, people ask, how readers ask, are California going to be sinking? No, California is not sinking. What California is having is a rise in water, and therefore it stinks a lot of things, but California's not sinking into the ground. That's why the tarot cards say no, but really California is going to be flooded. Okay, it's going to become a basin or a bay. Okay, I see the California Bay is what I'm seeing here. Okay. Okay. Stay away from power lines, walls, and bridges. Even if they look sturdy enough, they can collapse during aftershock. Just so you guys know that. Remember, you should not go to a power line because they are electrical, okay? It's almost very likely a tsunami comes after an earthquake. Protect yourself from the shaking, then move to higher ground immediately, okay? Do not hesitate, okay? Remember, tsunamis travel quickly. Look for higher ground. Go to high buildings that are grounded, basically meaning that they are earthquake and tsunami proof, okay? Go to those buildings if you could. Take the stairs, not the elevator. Do not be in an elevator, okay? This is not Titanic, okay? Do not go in an elevator. If you are running, try moving fast and do not hesitate. Do not look back, okay? If you're with a friend, I will tell my friend, because I know I'm not the type to run. I'm the type to go to a fast food restaurant. That's the fastest I can get. I would tell them to just leave me behind. So, if you need to leave someone behind, leave someone behind. You know what I mean? Because remember, it's either you and them. You might as well hold your hand together because you're going to be like Jack, okay? You're not going to be Rose. If you want to be Rose, then you got to let them go, okay? All right, remember, it's a fight for survival. Do not hesitate at all. Don't worry about the moving hazard item. Just run. Basically, like cars, you see cars blocking the road. Just run, okay? Be like Spider-Man. Be like the Avengers. I don't care how old you are. You can either hit someone with a cane to get by or like, excuse me, ma'am. Like, just move them, okay? Don't like hit them. Don't try to hurt them or injure them. We'll be like, listen, there's a tsunami, okay? We'll move out of the way, okay? Tsunami special signs are made to point you in a direction. So if you see a sign, so it's like blue, it could be blue. It has like a sign of a wave, like a symbol of a wave on the picture on the sign, and it points you in a direction, and that's the evacuation plan to higher ground. So look for those in your area, okay? 100,000 feet, 100 feet in height or feet away from the shore. Okay, excuse me, that is incorrect. 100,000 feet in height or feet away from the shore is sufficient to protect you, but never 100%. Keep moving until you're on the highest ground. If you can't find anything, to find something to grab onto and hold tight. And so that is all that I have. So I was able to get all that information and condense it in this video, okay? So now if you guys have questions about what I read on and what information I gave you, this is the time to put them in the live chat now, and I'll answer them all for you guys, okay? Make sure to have an emergency bag ready with emergency items like flashlight, emergency kit, some small snacks, some drinks, and a battery-operated radio with possibly a weather station. Yes, definitely. But do not worry about them. If you gotta go, you gotta go, okay? Act as if like you're constipated, okay? Act as if you just had Chipotle or a Taco Bell and you really need to go to the bathroom. Run like as if you're going to the bathroom, okay? Like your life depends on it. Okay, like your life depends on an embarrassment, but no one's gonna see you get swept by a tsunami, but people will see you if you have a little brown stain on your pants. So there's that. Okay, let's see if there's anything else here. Yes, thank you, Julie. The first wave water recedes, and then the swells and overflows the bank just keeps rolling in. Yep. All right, so Chris, do you see anything for the Great Lakes of the U.S. Canada? I do feel like the Mississippi River is going to expand. Right? I talked about this in my coming soon video where I talked about what's it called? I talked about that Kentucky specifically was going to be underwater. So like the whole basin, like Illinois, Missouri, Iowa, Kansas, Nebraska, Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, Tennessee and Kentucky and Indiana, some parts of it will be underwater. It will be like a brand new ocean in the middle of the United States. So I do see that. So yes, I do see parts of it going to be a little bit like there might be a little lake or like a road that's connecting from the Great Lakes into that ocean. So if it's fresh water, it's going to become seawater. Okay. For those of you guys we have here, would the St. Vincent eruption be of a megaton magnitude? It already erupted. This one erupted. It was on the news, and I got like a gut feeling that this was something that I saw. Like it felt like an omen, like it was a sign that was coming, and so that's why I read on it today because I wanted to know like for 100%. You know what I mean? I don't know what that is. Oops. But if you want to explain, I'm more than happy to put it back up. Okay, so what do you see for Las Vegas area? Would the ocean come in that far? I don't see, I don't personally see. Okay, so here are the states that are going to be affected. I can tell you right now. Hawaii, Alaska, Washington, Oregon, California, Nevada, Utah, Arizona, Wyoming, Oklahoma, Idaho, Oklahoma, Texas, Kansas, Nebraska, North Dakota, and South Dakota. In some degree, I do feel like the from Idaho with those northern states or parts of California, parts of Canada are going to be in volcanic activity, which might be erupted by the Yellowstone. Then I see the southern part of it, and specifically California, specifically nuclear matter for either from the nuclear power plant or the nuclear missile strike if North Korea were to do anything. Okay, that is what I'm seeing. I do see a lot of those states are going to be heavily affected. All right, so definitely be aware. I do feel like a lot of those areas are going to be very heavily affected by this earthquake. It is a very big earthquake. Okay, it's going to be felt. Even here, I am going to feel it. We're all going to feel it because this earthquake is the magnitude of a 12, a 0.12 on the Richter scale. Okay, they never had a 0.12. The last time it happened, wiped out the dinosaurs. Okay, I'm not talking apocalypse here, but I'm talking about like but be prepared. Basically, that's why I am trying to do my hardest. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the Hoover Dam bursting because I do see the Hoover Dam is going to end up collapsing because it had not been updated in terms of the infrastructure. So we'll definitely take a look at that at another time as well. You guys can also put on suggestions when it comes to preparation that you do in the comment section below so that other people can get ideas. Also, if you guys would like me to do another preparation video like this in the future, and if this had calmed you down, so when I do things like topics like this that could potentially scare you when I have no intention of really scaring you, but helping you. If you find this is a way to help calm you down, as long as you have a way to prep, then I'm more than happy to do preparation videos and research for you in advance. I'm more than happy to do that, okay? Could somebody tell me in the comment section below or the live chat right now if you remember what channeling video I said that Prince Philip died or was going to pass away very soon? I know I said it, I just don't know what channeling because I'm kind of curious to see what one I said it in because I did say you're going to pass away. So there's that. All right, so we're done for today. So we're going to do an angelic and Easter egg message for you right now, okay? And if you have any areas that you want me to look at, just let me know in the comment section below, okay? I'll be looking at the Northeast. I'll be looking at Europe. I'll be looking at the Indian Ocean, Africa. I'll be looking at all areas because I do not discriminate between areas. So we'll definitely be looking at everything. Okay. All right. Oh, and then also at the end of the angelic reading, the angel reading, if you guys want to say, I'll tell you about that experience and what I saw in my third eye from my client when it comes to this natural disaster and how big it was, like the wave, the tsunami waves. I'll tell you right after this. All right, so Spirits and Angels, tell me what messages do you have for my viewers for today, people who are watching this, whether on replay or currently right now live. What is it that we need to know, Spirits and Angels? All right, yes, thank you. Colorado and New Mexico as well will be affected. Thank you, Cynthia. Also, we'll be looking at Mexico as well, Baja California. For Mexico, for those of you who know people from Mexico, I see that Baja California is going to act as a standby and it's going to protect parts of Mexico. Oh, really, G-Spot? I didn't know that. Spirits and Angels, tell me what else do we need to know right now? What is it that we need to know? For my viewer, what do my viewers need to know right now? Okay, so we have here, for some of you guys, this might not be for all of you. This is for the collective. We have here 9 of Swords, regret, hopelessness, anxiety. Right? And what this is telling me here is that a lot of you guys are kind of scared. You feel like very anxiety here. I don't know if this is because the preparation, maybe I didn't know how to prep enough for you guys. If you feel like I'm not doing enough for you, let me know, and I'll try to my best to get more information for you in the next time. Right, we do have here as well as we have the Hierophant here, religion, tradition, society. The way that society had told you to be afraid of because you feel like society hasn't prepared you enough for this moment. Whatever this moment is, it doesn't necessarily need to relate to the topic of today. Right? We have here the Tower, danger, destruction, disaster. Okay, maybe not. Maybe this is exactly what we're talking about today. Maybe you are feeling about this specific topic. Right, you have here the Tower, danger, destruction, disaster. I also feel like for some of you guys, this is the warning signs leading up to this very particular moment. Like it's leading up to the time when this happens or occurs. It feels like this is your intuition. This is what you guys and your intuition is trying to tell you. When you feel these things, you're gonna know it's coming. Like you're gonna know it's like right at the cups of it, right? So there's that. I'm going to quickly go back over the information that I have told you guys before so that you guys kind of remember what exactly I said in the beginning of the video in terms of what I am getting, right? Oh, by the way, for example, a lot of you guys may have been worried about people in California who are saying people who are in those areas going to be affected. They have already agreed in a Stoll contract that they are going to die the way they are dying because they're meant to make massive changes. So people who are not leaving or people who are staying in the state, you kind of have to like understand that they are doing that. That's what's happening, right? They are staying there because that is their sole contract. Those people who are just suddenly leaving, picking up and going, just out of nowhere to make the random decision to leave, that is their guys telling them to leave. Whether subconsciously or they actually are spiritually awoken, it depends on the individual. But it does, I do feel like as if they're leaving, and that's why the tax rates are so high because it's pushing people out, people who are not supposed to be there. Again, you do have freedom of choice, so you can be a part of that as well. But you guys will have that ability to make that freedom of choice to leave or to stay, but also to whether or not you want to take the information that I am providing you today. Okay. So here, I'm going to read back to everything I said earlier in today's video. So if you were from the past and you're new here, I'm not going to quickly cuss you up. So I said this earthquake, the earthquake length is going to be a 0.12 on the Richter scale. It's going to be undetected. It's going to last from 3 to 5 minutes. It's going to be within that ratio. The tsunami that follows after this earthquake is going to be from 1,000 to 100,000 feet. You're going to have 2 minutes of evacuation time right before the tsunami strikes. All infrastructure in the state or any other country will be unreliable. California will now become a brand new bay or become an ocean or like a lake. I see people who are starving. The water supply will be polluted. Nuclear matter will be spread all over, and volcanic activity will emerge. There will be an eruption from San Andreas fault line. This is where it will occur, especially SoCal, California. We have here 200 million people will be affected by this particular disaster that I'm seeing. Anyone on the west side of the Mississippi River or the Red Wall, well, by Red Wall, I mean the Republican wall that they have there, it's going to be affected in some degree or way. People who are clubbing, so when I saw that it was happening around the time when people are out and about, like having like, going back to clubs and bars and, having fun. It could be like just a reopening type scenario before it goes back on lockdown. So it does feel like the state of California specifically is going to be reopened. And so there's that. And I say that right now, people in the clubs are going to all die. So anyone who's going to a club or a bar are going to die right away because they will not feel this because it's going to happen around 3 a.m. to 7 o'clock in the morning, right? In Pacific Standard Time, by the way. It will take place on or before an election, the month that it's going to occur in, or as follows: April, May, June, early July, or it's going to happen in October, November. And if it doesn't happen this year, it's going to happen within the next 5 years. But I do see it happening. It looks like it's coming very soon. So there's that. This is my last warning. This is my preparation video. So I won't do any more videos after this of this specific topic. Again, this is just for entertainment purposes only, right? What do you mean the bottom line for the spirituality, Linda? I'm just curious to see what you mean by that. That's a very interesting question to ask. Okay, so while we are waiting, I'm going to tell you guys my client and the thing that I got for her. So her name is Lisa. I'm not going to say exactly what her full name is, but her name is Lisa, and she is she's very spiritual. She contacts a lot of psychics, and but we talked recently, I think a few days ago. I don't know when we talked, but it was a few days ago. She wanted to know if she was safe because her house is right by the ocean or the beach, right? And so she wanted me to tell her whether or not she'll be okay or safe. And so what ended up happening is I told her that no, you will not be safe. And a particular reason for this is because your house is by the water. And I told her, but she will be personally safe, but just not her home will be safe. But instead, because I did the cars here, right? I did the cars. And what I ended up seeing for her was that it was going to be, she'll be waking up, like she'll be like a breakfast time for her. And she told me it was around 4 o'clock in the morning, but I said it was going to be nighttime because people are clubbing. and I didn't understand why. And then she explained that she wakes up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and I told her it's gonna happen. It's gonna be like 3 to 5 minutes of shaking, and then after the shaking, um, you have to leave because like you don't only have 2 minutes of evacuation based on what I've seen. And so I saw a couple of different outcomes for her. The first outcome was I saw that she's on this helicopter and they pick her up from a helicopter, right? And I saw, I'm not kidding. This is what I've seen in my third eye. So I saw her in a helicopter, right? And I see it from a third eye view. Like she's in a helicopter and it's almost like an emergency helicopter, but I don't know what it looks like, right? But it's an emergency helicopter. And it's, you know how high helicopters go, right? Well, imagine how high it is, right? That's how high the tsunami is. Because the tsunami just barely clipped the helicopter from the bottom part, okay? But that is what I saw for her in one of her outcomes. That's how big the tsunami was. That's why I say it's really big. Then I also saw her leaving, like she won't be home when this happens. And now she'll be like hiking or she'll be like on a hill already. Like her guides already prepared her to be there. Because the reason why I asked, I was weird. I was like, oh, that makes no sense why your guides would put you in a house near the ocean if they knew this was gonna happen. And then her guide came in and told me that the reason why they put her there was that she learned how to run. So she could run. So when this does happen, she's able to have that energy, the energetic exercise inside of her, adrenaline, to push her and propel her above that mountain. So that was why her house is there for that specific reason. Because she runs up and down in the beach or like the boardwalk or something like that. I don't know exactly what California has, but it's like that. Then when I saw her on this mountain, I was her, right? I looked back where the ocean is, right? And you want to know what the funny thing is? Well, it's not really funny because it was really bad, but I looked, and over here you see the waves. You see like it's almost like a big blue wall, like coming. I said it looks like a mountain. That's how big this thing is. And funny enough, I told her that the deja vu card kept coming up, and that it was gonna feel like she recognized this moment, like she's gonna realize, oh no, this is that. Like this is the one that we're talking about here. So she said she knew that was coming, but I do feel like it's coming because what followed is an economic collapse and then an economic prosperity that followed after the economic collapse. But we're talking about the roaring 20s, right? And nature is very angry right now at humans. If you're wondering why all this is happening, is that nature is very angry at us not listening to nature, right? So if you listen to my Nature's Message video, which talked about the Texas, snow and stuff like that, definitely watch that video again. Because, funny thing is I won't be putting this out when I go into my surgery. So this will be my last week of doing videos, and then I'm out for a couple of weeks. But I want you guys to go back to my videos because you want to know something I learned about my videos is that they are Easter eggs. I didn't know that. I'm going to put them in. Those are Easter eggs, not Easter egg messages I give you, but Easter eggs. Like there's messages in there that I say, but I don't understand what I'm saying because I'm like channeling some of the stuff from my guys. And by guys, I mean angels. They put stuff in there that I don't realize until I listen to it back. And then I'm like, oh, that makes sense. Now you start to connect the pieces. So while I'm gone, take the moment to look back at videos, and you guys can catch up on videos that you haven't watched yet in case that you are, of course, interested in those specific topics, right? Think about it as that episode, right? And, one thing I was telling my other clients is that the one way my channel works, I had no idea how it works, is that when I do a specific topic or video topic, even though it's not in the news cycle, because I don't do things in the news, I don't need the money, although it will help because this will become a job. But anyway, my main goal is you guys and helping you guys. So if you look at my videos, normally there's a 2 to 1 month ratio before an actual event occurs. And when I start updating that specific topic, that's when it happens. So that's when the first 1 to 2 month cycle occurs. So to keep that in mind as well, in case you were looking at other videos as well. New Mexico, I haven't seen New Mexico. I just know something's happening in New Mexico. Like I know those states are going to be affected. Or Arizona as well. I see Arizona is going to be having some sort of effect because it is very hot there. I do see California will be experiencing some sort of wake. It's going to be like something's woken. I don't know exactly what that particular means, but I do see something in Arizona, Utah, Nevada, Utah, what's the other one? Colorado and New Mexico. Right, that's all of them. Right, yeah, that's it. Yeah. I put the sorry. A lot of you guys are asking about the ascension, right? The ascension is talking about you're asking about the 3D and the 5D. Some of us are going to experience this specific thing. Some of us are not going to experience this. And some of us will. Most of us will end up experiencing this because nature wants to get us in the 5D. We're not in the 5D yet. We're starting to transfer over, which means the poles are going to shift. But the poles have not shifted yet. Therefore, we have not extended 100%. And so we're still stuck in the 3D, okay? YouTube Future World Map of Gordon Michael Scallion. Okay. Thank you, G Spot. I'll check it out and see if what I get is relating to that as well. Exactly right. Not everyone will extend. Exactly right, Willow. No, I did not know it was 19 miles. I don't even know what miles is. You know, that's like interest to me, I guess. I don't know. I don't know how big that is. I just assume it's big, but I don't know how big that it would be. I wanted to move to California for the past 5 years and keep getting blocked. Maybe this is a style, maybe actual guys as well. For that, if that's something particular there, I will be talking about Texas and the red wall next. We'll be talking about the Mississippi with the oil spill, and then of course I'll be talking about the Northeast. And now remember, I don't have any intention trying to scare you guys. Remember, I live on an island that has no evacuation plans, but because we're stuck on an island, and so God forbid a tsunami was to hit New York, for example, we will not be allowed off because of New York City. Okay, remember that. There's only one way in and there's one way out. We cannot get off the island. So I do not have any intention of trying to scare you. I'm just warning you, okay? Listen, I don't benefit from this, okay? I'm like, Long Island's like the Vancouver of Canada, okay? So remember that, okay? I love you guys and have a very beautiful night. I hope this does help you guys feel a little bit more calm and more in peace and relaxed. I will be doing a preparation video in the future in case if you guys do like this type of videos. I'm more than happy to do them again. So again, I love you guys and have a very beautiful night. I love you.